Hello, everyone. Welcome to the KYC October virtual meetup. I am obviously Danielle, Octane Designs. We've been working on building this community and really making it into something really special. And so today we are getting started with our October meetup. No theme in particular, but to be honest, collaborations are a really big thing as we're going into this last quarter of business, right? So we thought we would bring on a great expert for that, which would be our good friend Miranda Stewart. So I'm going to add her to the stream now and just welcome her onto the show. Hi.
Hey. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Hi. I've got my Beetlejuice Kentucky for Kentucky shirt. If you don't already have one, go grab one before they switch it over entirely to the holiday season here very shortly. But we were just literally talking about collaboration and just kind of in general, knowing that we're going into the last quarter of the year. And a lot of people right now are focused on the holiday season and all the buzz around marketing and influencer marketing and how can people just get connected with brands and all the things. So before I get started, for people who don't know who I'm bringing on, this is Miranda Stewart, okay? She is the CEO of Sass and the Bluegrass, which is a boutique marketing agency in Lexington, Kentucky that provides marketing expertise in social media management, event planning, photography, and PR. So Miranda has graciously given up her time today, like 30 minutes, seriously, to share tips on influencer collaborations. So welcome, Miranda. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, first off, thank you for that amazing introduction. You just made me sound super cool, and I am very happy about that.
Hey, it's all about it.
You are literally so sweet. Thank you for having me. Actually, I absolutely love that you're doing this. I'm going to go log into my portal that you've created for us and watch some of these other meetups because I am all about like connecting to people locally and learning. But hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. And honestly, influencer marketing, I just kind of want to start off by saying it is obviously a huge topic that we could literally talk about for hours.
Right.
But it's very important to talk about. I do think some of it is just like common sense stuff that people already know. And then some of the things that I kind of wanted to talk about, I think people don't always think about. So I do event planning, like you said, and some of our events are actually influencer events. So I really wanted to go into talking about how somebody who is wanting to do more influencer marketing, especially around the holidays, can really stay connected in their community. So my first tip is attend local events because honestly, the more you get out in the community, just as an individual, like that's really going to show that you want to create genuine connections. And I think that's how partnerships start. I've had that actually happen a couple times. So I definitely think getting out in the community, supporting local, and getting to know business owners. So basically, influencer marketing is literally just a fancy term for word of mouth. I mean, honestly, we're all influencers. I mean, we are, right? Like, yes. Everybody is. So at the end of the day, connections are key in telling stories. So you need to talk about the brand, maybe sit down with the owner, ask questions, and just go to places that you're interested in and brands you're interested in and products you want to learn more about, or even topics. Like if you want to learn a new skill, maybe you like connect with, for example, if it's tennis, connect with your local tennis club. And even shadow, maybe do like a job shadow there. So I think a lot of in-person connections and events really can start your partnerships.
Oh, I love that. And I love the fact too that you're telling people do your homework. Like with any other marketing thing that you're going to have to do, there's an element of work that we have to do on our side in order to know what we want, where we want to go, and who we want to connect with. So I think that's really important, just in general, as any person who wants to do anything marketing related. Do your homework.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, it's fun if you're interested in it. You know, like just because you may see 300 local influencers or huge influencers talking about apple cider gummies doesn't mean you need to go promote apple cider gummies. Now, if you're genuinely interested in that, then absolutely pursue it. But my thing is, you're always going to be happier and more like fulfilled with your content if you obviously are actually interested in that area of knowledge, you know, or that expertise.
Yeah, and I think that's too, again, as we talk about like more influencer opportunity, I'm taking notes, mind you. So if you see my hands moving, that's what I'm doing. Because I'm going to learn just as much. I'm a student as well, so I learn from other people too. So it's really important that even in the marketing realm, we talk about, what's hot and trending right now. Like, how does that relate to steps that you would take for collaborations on a local level? Like, how does trending and like what's happening local, how do they meet up? How does that possible for them to open
in
up
the
more
middle.
opportunities? Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that PR campaigns spark other PR campaigns.
Yeah.
So let me give you all an example. So Lexington Legends, local baseball team. If you all don't know, they were a part of a league that filtered into the MLB.
Yes.
And they lost that affiliation, I believe in 2020. And now they're part of the Atlantic League, which they just won their first championship with the league. So I'm very happy about that. Yeah. But they actually reached out to me shortly after that announcement had been made. And we talked about a campaign called Support the Stash that is basically, let's support this professional baseball team. We're still going to have baseball. We're still family friendly. It's very competitive. So come out and really like, let's back them. Let's rally around them. So we did that. We sent out some PR packages I got to deliver and really just connected with local influencers because baseball is America's pastime. I mean, whether it's MLB or your local team, I think that a lot of lessons can be learned from MLB and their PR campaigns as well. So I don't think it hurts to like look up different techniques and kind of mirror that on a smaller scale.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's how each of us learn, right? Each one teaches one. And so when we see the big wigs doing it, when we see, Samsung and Apple doing all of these meticulous campaigns, it seems really tedious to us, but you see all the crazy dividends that it creates. How can you kind of create that scale or create that magic on a more local level? I think those are great tips. I'm glad.
Yeah, working with micro influencers is huge. And by micro, I don't just mean, I think the standard definition is like 10,000 followers to 50,000 followers. I mean, like literally work with people who have 500 or 1,000 or 2,000, because the more you have your story out there, obviously the better, and it's just going to snowball. So I think for local companies, maybe they don't have a huge budget to pay for a post, but they can give a ton of free product or services. And I think it's just when like-minded people connect, then it's honestly a win-win. And then also companies who maybe don't have a $200,000 budget, like a big company, use some of their marketing dollars this year, switch it up. Maybe they drop a billboard that is $3,000, which that literally is about correct estimate of how much a billboard is. I have looked it up. But maybe they use some of that $3,000 and they partner with 2-3 local influencers to have a longer partnership instead of just one post. Maybe we do a month partnership, for the month of November to promote our Christmas items. So there's a lot of avenues and there's a lot of different opinions. And I just think at the end of the day, it just needs to be a win-win for everyone.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And just people need to value who they're working with and just be mindful of who you're working with as well. That's another thing is don't just feel like, oh, well, I saw X, Y, and Z work with them locally. So should I work with them or do I need to work with them? Only work with them or approach them or try to connect or support them if you are obviously really interested in them.
Yeah, I totally agree with this. I also wanted to mention, as you mentioned, micro influencers, that is a big part of our group. A lot of the members in our group, they're smaller, growing their numbers. So we have a lot of micro influencers that are within the group that want to grow. Obviously, their numbers, they want to grow in their influence. So I love the fact that you mentioned all these details that are helping them specifically to grow their influence and how to partner with other local brands and businesses. So for those, real quick shout out promo. We're inside this insiders feed, this insiders hub for the Kentucky Creatives membership group. So if you're not a paid member, check that out at KentuckyCreatives.com. But I want to kind of keep this conversation going because I know you have a short on time. I would love to hear some additional tips that you have or some additional insight that you want to share in regards to influencer marketing. Especially again, coming up on the holiday season, everyone needs a little help somewhere. So I definitely want to hear all the things from Sass about how we can, level up.
Okay, well, first off, I'm still learning too, so bear with me on this, and I definitely feel free to kind of, pitch your ideas as well. But I think that at the end of the day, like I've said previously, influencer marketing is word of mouth, right? So if you're out with your girlfriends on a Saturday going to some local boutiques and you find a boutique that you absolutely love, you love what they stand for, you learn that they donate to charity or they carry plus sizes and that's something that you value or something, you connect with them, right? So you can make it casual and organic. You can literally be out at a boutique and then be like, oh my gosh, I've learned so much about them. I've had a blast shopping today. Pull out your business card or a little flyer / resume and don't be shy to give it to people, because my thing is, if it ends up in the trash, it ends up in the trash, but at least you're getting your name, your brand, what you stand for in front of people. And how much is a piece of paper, literally, you know what I mean? So I know it's very old fashioned, but sometimes that's how things need to get done. So it really doesn't need to be that complicated all the time.
The old ways are best. Like, honestly,
Sometimes.
that's what I'm learning over and over again in any journey, but sometimes the old ways are just best. Thank you for that.
Yeah, networking is obviously key. And I do plan some influencer events, and hopefully we have some more coming up in the spring. We had a kind of a awkward time where we had like bam, 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 and then it's kind of slowing down now that we're getting into winter. So
Yeah.
I think if any of you are aspiring bloggers, influencers, or just people who want to support companies or businesses or products, you all could connect with me. Feel free to message me at Sass and the Bluegrass. Because if you've not been invited to an event, I would definitely love to have some new people and new faces at these events. So definitely send me a message. And I don't think that's, I think some people are scared to reach out to people. And my thing is it's like half the time you don't know unless you try, So yeah. It's like, what's that saying? You knock on 10 doors, 9 say no, right? And then 1 says yes.
Yes.
So, slow and steady wins the race.
Yes. I love that. Yes, I totally agree. And I think also too, we talk about, that often kind of, I don't want to say hairy situation, but the whole like community over competition, that staple is so important in the terms of marketing, regardless of where you are in the realm of influencing. So it's just really important to kind of keep that overall community in mind. That's what this group was created for, was for that community over competition, so that we can kind of reach out to each other when we really need it. So I love the fact that you've done a couple different influencer events recently. I know El Cid was one that I followed quite a bit because I love that one. It was beautiful. I definitely am a big fan of seeing you flourish as well, because you're just taking one small business at a time and really just showcasing to other people how amazing these individuals are as a business, and then also as individuals, as people too. So that's really, really cool that you do that.
Well, thank you so much. Honestly, I really try to get to know every client, and there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that people don't see.
Right.
So for example, El Cid, I sat down with them 2 or 3 months before they had even hired me and paid their deposit and all that good stuff for their event that I planned. And I got to know the owner. Turns out the owner, he's 24 years old. 24. I'm 27.
What?
When I was 24, I was like going negative in the bank account and like, still struggling. Right. So I think that is so cool. So I really got to know Chris, the owner. El Cid, by the way, they're amazing. Definitely check out their food. I'm not saying that because they were my client. I'm telling you, their food is bomb.
So good. I've lost so much coins to them.
It's so good. Literally insane good. But yeah, get to know people, and honestly, get outside of your comfort zone. I've said this before on Joelle's podcast, and we just talked about moving to a new city. So I moved here in 2016 without friends, family, a job lined up after college. I just had my new puppy, Bella. That was my graduation gift. And I kind of was like, sink or swim. You have to figure it out. Like, I had bills to pay. I didn't have time to be shy. Like, I had to get my stuff together. So I think getting outside your comfort zone is key. And if you all need a hype girl, like Danielle and I got you, because we are seriously about supporting others. There's plenty of business to go around. And if you truly believe that and kind of put your ego aside and your insecurities aside, then you'll be successful. Because let me tell y'all, I still don't have stuff figured out. Like, I'm a hot mess express some days, but but I'm still figuring it out, and that's okay, because I'm not scared to fail. I'm not scared to only have 3 likes on a photo and then maybe I get 100 on the next. Like, that's just part of it, and it's up and down, and you have to be able to kind of hang on.
Yeah, I love that. Oh my gosh, so many gems you shared just in that moment. Thank you. Very quickly, like, again, going back to being okay, not knowing, hearing the word no, right? Like, as you mentioned before, some people are just going to throw that little one sheeter and throw it in the trash, but that one person that does pick it up and say, hey, I really need that, that should be the go-to feeling that you hold on to in those moments where you feel like you're swimming in the dark. So I love the fact that you mentioned that. And 2, let's talk a little bit more about how we can all be like better people in the world by uplifting each other. I mean, yeah, hype men, hype women, right here. You got Miranda, you got me. Like, we got a whole bunch more in the back. We got plenty of backup microphones for women who are ready to like rah you. And for you dudes out there, because I keep talking about ladies, and it's mostly because of our platform is like 90% predominantly female. For you dudes out there, don't be afraid to step out and be like, okay, this is for me too. Because this place is for everyone. This is a Kentucky creatives group. That means everybody underneath the sun. And so I think it's really important that we just reiterate that over and over again for people who are looking for insights, that are looking for community. This is that space for you. So thank you for saying all those wonderful things. Was there any additional tips that you wanted to share?
I think really I kind of just summed it up, but I honestly would say, again, if anyone has questions, message Danielle or I. We're happy to answer them.
Yeah.
Or go get coffee. Right now I'm drinking coffee out of my Stay Sassy mug. I don't know if y'all can see.
Cool in the LA today. So that's
love it. Love it. But yeah, you never know what a coffee meeting could turn into. So if any of you are interested, whether it's a local business who needs social media, or you want to host an influencer event for your business that maybe needs an extra boost, it's a great way to reach thousands of people. And it's actually pretty economical as far as cost. And, it's obviously a marketing expense as well. So if you all have any questions, reach out to me, or Danielle can connect you with me. And thank you again so much for having me. And I just love what you're doing. And I'm excited to go back and watch some other meetups and take some notes. I literally have my notebook. So I'm excited to do that. And this was so fun.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So real quick, for all those out there, we decided to play a buzzword game for this particular round of virtual meetup. So our buzzword for today is, I'm going to look at it. Buzzword today is grow. Woo! So if you mention the word grow in the Facebook group publicly, we be entered to win a $10 gift card to Starbucks today. So mention of coffee. I'm glad that you mentioned that. So we want to tell people all the time that when you're a part of this community, we want to support you from within, whether that's just a cup of coffee to talk to Miranda, or a cup of coffee to chat with another influencer, or just a way for us to, again, connect with each other, both in the Facebook group that is open to everyone, or on our private paid membership group. So again, I encourage you to get more behind the scenes with these moments like this with Miranda. And again, thank you, Miranda, so much for your expertise today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. It was great to be here. I had a blast.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next at the November event, and that speaker will be announced in the next couple of weeks. So be on the lookout, and thanks for watching today.